Hello and welcome to the very first Whispers in the Sheet. This is a E3 recap, which is what we've been waiting for. So we're pretty much going to talk about our entire E3 adventure from day 1 to day 3. I'm CJ Melendez,
And I'm Zack Furness.
and as you can see, it's bright outside. Don't worry about that. It's still Whispers in the Sheet. He's making it darker.
Ooh, now it's moody.
There you go, a little moodier. So we're pretty much just going to go through our entire journey, starting with day 1, which was Tripwire Interactive. We talked to Alan Wilson from Tripwire, the people behind Killing Floor 2. You interviewed them, so how'd that go?
No, it was pretty great. Killing Floor has been one of my favorite games for a very long time. Put about 600 hours into it, and the interview went great. It was the first one I've ever done. Had a lot of fun. He was great to talk to. Didn't give a whole lot of information that we didn't know, but he said there's going to be a lot coming up in the next few weeks, and that we might want to expect a sort of alternate reality-ish game coming up, kind of leaking details everywhere. And only halfway through the interview did I realize that he's actually one of the voice actors in it too. So I got him to give me a nice little ringtone and everything. A lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing more information on that soon. Next up, we had The Evil Within with Bethesda, and you checked that out. I did the preview. You saw my preview before. So what did you think of it?
Well, I played the second demo on day 1, and it was pretty interesting. I didn't finish the puzzles, but I thought they're cool enough. You have to probe some brains. The environment was scary looking, although the resolution didn't look really high. It's kind of blurry a little bit. Also, the depth of field was kind of extreme. But gameplay-wise, it's very solid. It's difficult, very difficult, especially to play on the show floor, while surrounded by other people and strapped for time. So I decided to wait until day 3 to play the first demo. There's 2 demos in E3 one. I thought it was a little bit better because it was less looking for things and just going across and looking at the world and stuff like that. Very linear, which I wanted for a demo purpose. But I have high hopes. I'm kind of worried that it's going to be just a Saw-esque gore fest of scary things. They're like, oh, this is scary because it's brains. This is scary because it's blood. And the psychological stuff might be really vapid and not really complex, but I don't know. We also interviewed Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil and The Evil Within now. That came out pretty interesting. It was fun. We didn't know he was going to be there, and we were going to interview him. I got some validation. He confirmed that I do look like Joseph Oda, Sebastian's partner. So that was fun. That's about it for The Evil Within. I played the second demo later on. Enjoyed it. Patiently awaiting. Hopefully the full version is 60 frames, 1080p on PC, definitely, hopefully. And yeah, what was next?
Next was our interviews. We ran into Matthew Mercer, Resident Evil 6's Leon voice actor. And that was really cool. He was really nice. He's definitely a fan of games. You could tell he was on the show floor because he just enjoys this stuff. That was pretty nice. We got him to give us a Leon line, which was pretty funny.
Ah, there's nobody on that train. Zombie Express.
But then right after that, we ran into Troy Baker, who I had actually met previously, really briefly, and I don't think he exactly remembered me. But I got a little bit nervous because there was kind of a crowd drawing when we were starting to do it, and I did all sorts of stupid things. I was like, yeah, you play the character Alex Mercer. No, that's Prototype. Alex Wesker. No, he didn't actually play that. Never even said Jake Mueller. And then I was doing bad things with the mic, not passing it back and forth. He actually went like this. He's like, you do it like this.
Yeah.
So it's very cringy, but we're still going to post it, and you guys can laugh at me and call me stupid and a fake gamer guy or whatever you want to do. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. That was kind of the end of the second day for us. So we headed back here, and next up was day 2.
Which starts with Alien Isolation, right?
No, that's-
Oh, H1Z1, there we go.
Yes.
I think it's ready day 3. Okay, it's H1Z1. You've played DayZ, you've played Rust. Now here is Sony Online Entertainment, the guys behind PlanetSide 2, The Matrix Online, Star Wars Galaxies. This is their take on the open world survival MMO, but not as massive. They didn't say how many people would be on one server, but they didn't want to say it would be 1,000 people because that just overpopulate everything and would make it creepy and scary and isolated. So far, it looks like it's at a state where there's a lot of things already in place, and it's already before early access. You have base building, vehicles, crafting, what else? Large variety of weapons, clothing. I think they said the crafting book has over 1,000 recipes already, and they're going to continually add on to that.
I like one thing they said about the crafting system is that when they're going to update things, because the crafting works sort of like if you've played Guild Wars 2, I know it's not exactly the site's forte, but you put one item in and it says there's 5 possibilities with this one, but they don't tell you exactly how to do it. Well, they said that there's going to be updates where they'll say there are now 10 new inventions available or crafting recipes available, but they don't say exactly how to do it. They'll just kind of leak them out there, and then it's up to players to figure out what they can do now. So I thought that was kind of a cool way to keep people guessing.
It looks very solid. I didn't even see performance problems, but for all we know, that massive tower they used had a couple of Titans in there. Looking forward to it. As a DayZ fan, I like the competition. We'll see better things happen with both games. So what's next?
Next up was Techland. So we saw Hellraid and Dying Light. I did Hellraid, and you did Dying Light. I'll go first. With Hellraid, I know a lot of people are like, why are you covering this one? But it kind of does have that gothic horror look to it. It is definitely more of a combat, medieval combat type of thing. It looks to me like a first-person Diablo with really chunky, fun combat. You're picking up gear, whether it's magic stabs or swords, sledgehammers, whatever, and there's these demons that you're fighting, and they actually look pretty creepy sometimes. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I didn't get to actually play it. It was a hands-off demo. I think they said it's going to be early access towards the end of this year, so I'm looking forward to playing that one, 4-player co-op at some point. So, it just looks like good old fun. I want to smash some skeletons like I'm sure the rest of you do. And then, so Dying Light for you?
All right, Dying Light. Okay, you've played Dead Island. You might have seen my impressions video already. You played Dead Island. You can kind of know what Dying Light's going to feel like, but it is much more polished visually, mechanically, and hopefully story. Hopefully story is also good. But the difference between them is that now you can parkour, so you can climb up buildings, run up walls, jump across buildings, and it's just a much more entertaining game to play. The environment design was really nice. I was in kind of like a shanty town area. A lot of little passageways, run up this wall, jump on this house, go across. I'm pretty impressed. A lot of vertical gameplay. There's also a grappling hook. I have high hopes. I do like Dead Island to a degree. It's a fun game, but it could be better. So I'm hoping Techland's going to evolve on that. Now that they have a different contract they're working for. They're working for Warner Brothers, so maybe there'll be a difference in the kind of scope of the game they're going for. And it feels like Dying Light would definitely be a very challenging and entertaining game to play.
Next up was Dead Island 2. And Dead Island 2, you probably saw the announcement trailer, which looked really cool. And they're saying that it's supposed to be spring 2015 that's coming out, but it's really, really early what they showed us. First, they set us some gameplay from 2013, kind of their concept, which might not have been the best idea to show it because it was pretty janky, and they said that a lot of the ideas aren't actually going to make it into the game. We don't even know yet how it's going to actually look. But it was kind of jarring because they had told us that it's all about fun, and the characters in this one, the difference is they're not in the middle of an outbreak. They know where they're at. They're coming here as a day job now, enjoying hunting, and they don't want to have a regular 9-to-5 job. So all that makes it sound interesting, unique. But then it gets to the gameplay, and it's kind of the same dour, like depressing-ish Dead Island stuff. Gameplay, still a little too dark. There was a lot of moments where they were going through dark houses. We just couldn't see what was going on. I mean, it's still promising. It looks like it could be fun, but hopefully it kind of has that tone they showed in the trailer. They showed the original footage that we were talking about, but then they're like, that's not how it's actually going to look. It's going to look a lot better than that, so here is our target render. But then the video is super compressed, so we're like, it ended up looking worse than the pre-alpha footage that they showed us. So I don't know. I really don't think it's going to make that 2015 release date, that early 2015 release date at least. So hopefully they have time to work on it and kind of polish it and make it what they want it to be. Because Jaeger Software being behind it, they were great with Spec Ops. So it is Jaeger, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No, that gives me hope. I think it'll be pretty interesting. Hopefully they do something different with it, kind of turn it on its head. But yeah.
It's also running on Unreal 4, and they somehow made that look like a kind of old engine, which the old games ran on. Mm-hmm. And also, it looks visually the same. The contrast is super high, so you can't really see things in front of you, which I don't like.
Next up was Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which I got to play for about 15 minutes or so. And I'm a big fan of the original. A lot of fun with that game. Never expected it to be one of my games of the year, but put way too much time into that one. And now that I know the remake is coming, I keep wanting to go back and play the game, but I'm like, but the new one's coming out. So getting to check it out finally was really nice. It looks beautiful. We were playing it on PS4, and it was really smooth. The new aesthetic with the GBA pixel art looks a lot better. the aesthetic is it's really nice and smooth as heck. Playing with the PS4 controller is really nice, and I'm looking forward to that. I was thinking I was going to get it on PC, but now I'll probably either go PS4 or even Vita. Vita seems like it'll be a perfect fit for that game. A lot of fun with that one. We still don't have a release date on it, but it should be kind of coming soon. So looking forward to that one. And that kind of sums up day 2. So next was day 3, and first thing, Alien Isolation.
Alien Isolation. Let's see. The demo is very trial and error. It's difficult. You will die a lot because it's basically get from point A to B with the aliens stalking you and making sure you can't really do that too quickly. So, have some reservations on it. It might be great. It might be a trial and error fest where you get just very angry at it. But you seem to like it more than I did, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a grumpy poo. No, Alien Isolation, I think, looked fantastic. It was the challenge mode, so it wasn't actually a campaign. We didn't really see anything with the story. And the way the challenge mode works is they give you little side objectives. The main objective being, get from point A to point B without being killed. But then the 3 objectives were find 2 ID tags, don't use the motion tracker, which that's not going to happen in a little crowded room like that. It just wasn't the time and place for it. And then also lock down the stairwell. So you can kind of section off and block the alien in a few different ways. The first room actually had a flamethrower in it, which was kind of unexpected. But then as soon as you get it, you realize you only have enough for maybe a small burst, and that's just going to ward the alien away.
If it works.
Yeah, if it works. But it actually, the sound design is incredible. You're in there, and you hear all sorts of noises around you, and it doesn't sound like... with a lot of games, they'll do like footsteps behind you and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like a real threat. In this one, with the alien being so omnipresent, you never know if it's going to come through a vent or come up through the floor behind you. It just seems like they're making good on their threats. And you said trial and error, and I can kind of see what you're saying. But at the same time, I feel like because it's that challenge mode, through the campaign, we'll probably see small tricks that the alien's doing and kind of learn patterns and see how you can actually deal with them in a better way. With the challenge mode, it was definitely a fun little segment, and I actually liked the mode a lot. I thought it was kind of silly when I first heard about it, but it worked really well. Oh, and we got a little friend. This is my cat, Brooke. Come here. Anyway, yeah, but I think it looks great. Looking forward to the campaign as well. I want to see how the crafting system works.
It's The Last Guardian. It's actually coming.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think it's going to be worth a shot, definitely.
All right, next thing.
Bloodborne, which looks fantastic. That's my jam right there, because I'm all about Dark Souls and whatnot. And they kept saying, they're kind of trying to separate it from the Dark Souls franchise now, saying it's not a spiritual successor. But it's kind of hard to believe that when it's using the exact same animations as Dark Souls, the same noise when you kill an enemy for the soul coming out and everything. But the aesthetic is great. I love the gothic horror thing that they're going for now. It looks so much more next gen than Dark Souls 2 did. So with your leather armor flapping in the wind and all these great blood sprays coming out in this long draw distance. Of course, we don't know how far you can actually go right now, but the enemy design is already better too. You're mostly walking around fighting these peasants. Well, or I guess peasants is the word. With, well, okay, what do you mean?
That's horrible. You're just killing the poor.
No, well, they're evil poor, just like all the poor. Just kidding. No, but they have really, really long arms and everything like that, and they're carrying their torches slowly, nonchalantly walking down the streets as they're killing others. It's really creepy. Like I said, it looks great. The new weapons are interesting with the bone cleaver thing that you have that can extend out. Looks pretty cool. Looking forward to using that. And it's definitely Souls. It's a Souls game. When you fight the last enemy in there, it's this big, like, half goat monster, and it looks fantastic with all these fur textures on it and everything. But then the Dark Souls music kicks in, all that stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks great. I'm surprised though, because when I asked them later on, they said it's supposed to be early 2015, which seems, I don't know. The frame rate was dipping quite a bit. I'm wondering how fast they can actually get it done. Of course, I'm hoping for an early 2015 release, but I'd rather it be finished and nice and done. So hopefully they can get it there in time, but I don't know after seeing the frame rate dips. But yeah, that's what I got to say about Bloodborne. So next, you played Dead Rising 3. The Super Ultimate blah blah alpha. I don't even remember, but...
Well, I played Dead Rising 3 on PC, and I've never actually played Dead Rising before. Well, Dead Rising 3 before. And it's fun. It's a very fun game. I'm not sure if the frame rate was actually really 60 or not, but it didn't seem to lag that much, which is good. And I guess it's coming out in the summer, so it's probably not done yet. but I'm excited for a PC release.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that if you have an Xbox One controller, you still have the haptic feedback in the triggers if you're using a gun or something, which is neat. So I'm looking forward to playing that for the first time in, I'm guessing maybe July or August. And they also had the DLC, which was
I don't remember the name.
Super Ultimate
Blah, blah.
something. Didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
I thought you did, sorry.
Um,
Akiba's Trip was the next thing you did.
I played Akiba's Trip. I have an impressions video. You check that out because it'd be more funny than this. You rip people's clothes off from head to toe, and you also can get naked too. Well, not naked, but they can also take your clothes. And because your character is also one of them, like a vampire thing, but he's a nice one, he can die. So yeah. So I ended up being in my character being in his underwear, ripping people's clothes off and doing like thrusts at the camera. Really fun.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much everything that we saw. There were a few things that we wanted to, but we didn't actually get to, including Oculus and Morpheus. We really wanted to try out the VR, especially with Morpheus. There's one game called The Deep, I think. And if you've read anything on the site, you know that I have this bizarre fear of being underwater in games. We really wanted to get my reactions to that because I don't know exactly what's included. I don't know if it's the one with the sea monster roaming around or if it's just you going underwater, but either
Just
way.
a shark.
Okay, well, I'd still shit my pants. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, we really want to get to that. Didn't have a chance. And also the order. There was a line for it, and we were trying to get to all of our appointments, and we were wandering back and forth. So we didn't really get to see that, unfortunately. We did see the main trailer that they showed at the PlayStation, the press conference, which looks great. Looks like it plays itself a little too much, but I liked seeing kind of the horror side of it instead of just the Gears of War side. But anything else that you didn't get to see, or?
Not much I can think of. It was our first E3, so it was a new experience. Exciting. Still didn't feel like I had enough time to do everything.
Yeah.
Which was, even though we're just had horror appointments, felt like we were still strapped for a lot of stuff. Overall, it was pretty good. I definitely look forward to coming next year and seeing how it is that then. Take what we've learned and maybe fix things up. But I think it was successful. Our other videos will be going up shortly after I get home. And as you can see, this is Zach's wonderful bed. It's comfy. And I think that's about it. Whispers in the sheets. What do you got?
Game of the show.
Game of the show. Well, it wasn't actually there, but my biggest announcement that I was happy about was GTA 5 PC.
It's not horror.
That's all right.
Okay.
I was happy. It's finally coming. I can play it. And Metal Gear 5 looks good too.
Yeah, Metal Gear does look good. I think game of the show for me is either Alien Isolation or Bloodborne. Alien, I mean, I'd love to say Bloodborne, but not getting to play it and also how early it is, I can't really say that that's the biggest thing for me, even though I was excited just about the announcement. We'd all been following Project Beast and whatnot. But Alien Isolation, I really didn't expect much to go, going into it, but actually hearing the sound around me, having the headphones on and getting stabbed from behind and all the great animations and just the sound was terrifying. Like I was actually feeling tense and jumping up and down. So very happy with it. And I think that might have been my game of the show.
As my horror game of the show, Evil Thin, definitely. I am looking forward to it. Plus, I am Joseph Oda. Just so you know. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Signing off.
All right.
This was Whispers in the Sheets. It finally happened. I'm not sure how many people are going to get it.
The three people who listen to the podcast, probably.
Yep. Listen to the Whispers in the Dark podcast so you can know about our inside jokes and other things.
The only two people who are going to know about this, Rem and Brady. So this is for you guys.
Goodbye.